Hi there. My name is Mrs. Carter. Thank you so much for your interest in this Italy trip that we're taking in March of 2020. I'm going to get right to it and give you some information about myself and the trip and what's included, what's not included, the price, and ultimately how you can sign up. So let me introduce myself. I teach for IDLA, so I teach your student in our online economics course. I also teach full-time at Capitol High School. I teach a variety of different classes, and intermixed with those classes, I always love to bring in all of the adventures that I've been on and real life experiences that I've had while I'm traveling. I find that to be really valuable as a teacher, and it's really a wonderful thing for students to get to experience as well. My most recent travel experiences have been through EF. So I went on an EF tour to Barcelona, and I went on an EF tour last spring break in 2019, this spring break, 2019, to Scotland and England on a 9-day tour, and it was absolutely amazing. Here are some of the pictures from some of the places that I've traveled specifically with EF. And so you can get a sense of some of the amazing sights that we get to see. We get to see all the main highlights in every place that we go and get to have new adventures and make lots of new friends as well. So we are going to Italy, so let me get right into the details of this. This trip is going to take place sometime between Wednesday, March 18th and Monday, March 30th. We have a window because EF is trying to get us the lowest prices possible. So they team us up with another group from the United States. And so we have to kind of match like dates and to try and get a group together for our tour. And so in order to do this, they need a little bit of flexibility as far as those dates. So these dates happen to fall over the spring break that I have in the Boise School District. This may not be your spring break. So you may be concerned about your traveler, student traveler, missing so many days of school. One of the things that I would like to suggest that you do if you choose to sign up for this tour is that you talk to your school administrator, so whoever the vice principal is for your student, and you let them know about this tour, and you also let them know that this is through EF Education First. So this is an educational tour. And you can make the argument that yes, they're going on vacation, but it's also an educational component. So they could come back even with a little project or a write-up or show a slideshow of their tour as a way to show that this was an educational tour and hopefully get some leeway as far as missing those days from school. So as soon as we get closer to our date, then we will know the exact hard dates of our tour. So one of the reasons why I like to partner with EF is that they have over 50 years of experience. They are the world leader in international education for these tour companies. They have hundreds of schools and offices in 53 countries, including Milan. So this makes me feel really safe because when we go to Italy, we're not, and if any sort of issues come up, not that they will, but if they were, we have someone in an office right there in the country that we're visiting. We're not trying to deal with time change and that sort of thing of talking to someone way over in the United States. And so I feel really safe having essentially those boots on the ground. They're also accredited just like a school, and I'll talk about how you can earn high school or college credit through this. And they do guarantee the lowest price as well. There are lots of different schools. These all happen to be within the Boise School District because that's what I'm most familiar with. But I show you this because I want you to feel safe with your student traveling with this company. They have a great reputation, and there's lots of other schools that have been traveling with them for many years. Another way that EF is a great travel partner is because they really emphasize safety. So one of the amazing things that we get on this tour is we get a tour director 24/7. This is someone who speaks the local language and English. There's a local presence in the country that we're visiting to in Italy. They have a 24-hour emergency line, so if you need to get a hold of your traveler, you can do that. There's a great peace of mind policy too. Um, and in this policy, it means that if there was some sort of travel alert that happened to level 3 or 4, and maybe there was a tornado or something like that swept through Italy and there was an issue with our trip, our peace of mind policy means that we get the same trip. Maybe it's a different time. We could choose to have a slightly different trip, go somewhere else, or you could choose to get a refund as well. And that's all included in their peace of mind policy. So that's if there's some sort of crazy travel issue involved in the place that we're going. This most likely won't happen, but at least it's there in place. They also support my safety policies, things like when we have our free time, I like for 3 or more people to be cruising around together just for safety reasons. They also have, of course, a way to get in touch with me and with our tour director as well. I mentioned before that we do group travel, so this keeps our tours affordable. I won't have enough students on a tour to fill a bus just on my own, but so that means that we'll be paired up with another school. This is awesome. When we traveled to UK, to England and Scotland, we were paired up with a school from Ohio. We made really good friends. The kids made good friends. They all exchanged information. They're still in touch with kids from Ohio as well. And so you really get to meet new people and make some lasting friendships. This also helps keep our rates down because we don't just have a bus with 15 people. We have a bus with 40-ish people on it, and so it helps keep our tour more affordable. So here's some educational resources that EF offers. One, you can do a personal project and you can actually earn high school credit because EF is an accredited school. Another option is to do college credit. You do have to pay for these 3 credits, but if you've done any sort of concurrent credit, it's a much discounted price, so it's kind of like that. And you do some college level work, you write some papers, do some things, and you can earn 3 credits. That's pretty incredible, going into college right away with 3 credits under your belt. What my favorite thing about this for students is that they give you some information and some tools to use to write an amazing, inspirational personal essay. I've been teaching a really long time. I know that it's getting more and more competitive to get into schools and to get scholarships. And so I know that what these people in these institutions are looking for are personal stories, stories that touch them, stories that show that a student has changed over time, or there was something that happened, an experience that happened that really impacted them. This trip could be that. The students that I took on the England-Scotland tour, they all talked about how this dramatically changed their lives in a positive way. And they all had very different reasons for it. But it's really a wonderful experience, this trip is. And the EF gives students a lot of tools that they can use to develop this awesome personal essay. Okay, so here's our itinerary. This is pretty snapshot. At the end of this, I'll give you a link to the website that you can go to and you can see in more detail what the itinerary is going to be. For the sake of time, I'm just going to hit the highlights, but if you look at this little map here, you can see we land in Milan and then we take a bus straight over to Venice. So you can see exactly where we're going. After we go to Rome, then we go down here to Pompeii and Capri. And then we go back up to Rome and we fly out of Rome. One of the nice things I like about this trip is that you have multiple nights at a place. Here's the shortest time that we have, just 1 night, but it really is nice to have a couple of nights in these different regions. It gives you time to kind of settle in and really get to explore a city, which is what this is all about. So of course, these are some of the main places that we're going to go, some of the big cities. I guarantee you, if there's something you want to see, Michelangelo's The David in Florence, you can go there. We will be seeing a lot of things in tours, so we will have a local tour guide that will be taking us on expert-led tours. That's one of the fabulous things about this trip. The expert tour guides are amazing. They're wonderful. They give you so much more information than you could find in a tour book, and they will take us to the big places that you want to go to. You also will have free time to explore some things on your own as well. So here are just some highlights again of some things that we'll get to do. This is just a snapshot. Again, when you finish up with this video, I encourage you to go to my tour webpage and it will show you an itinerary that's much more detailed than what I have here. So yes, we will go to Vatican City. We will see the Sistine Chapel. We will go to the Colosseum. We'll see the Roman Forum. We'll go on the Grand Canal in Venice. We'll go to the Duma. We'll go to St. Peter's Basilica. We'll go to all sorts of different places that you would imagine yourself visiting if you went to Italy. And of course, there's the food. So that's one of the most fabulous things is that you do get free time every day. It's the perfect combination of guided sightseeing tours to some of these main sites that you want to see, local tour guides, as well as our tour director who's with us all the time. But the local tour guides will really give us some insight into things. and they'll, lead us on these tours, which are so amazing. And then they'll say, okay, guys, you've got 3 hours. It's lunchtime. Go find some amazing Italian food. Go get some gelato and walk along the Grand Canal. Go take some pictures. Here's a great museum you could go to. Here's something else you could see. And so you do get some free time as well. So that's a really wonderful thing. Let me take a minute here to mention something. I'm not sure if you're thinking of your traveling by alone as, the student traveler, or if your family is thinking of going. So I do have families go on this. If your family is thinking of going, that is fabulous. One thing to consider is that our tour does stay together. So when we are out somewhere, we're out for the day. You don't have the luxury of traveling by yourself to be like, I'm tired, let's go back to the hotel. Trust me, you will be so excited and so busy and so enthralled with what you're seeing, you won't want to go back and take a nap. But I just want to be totally transparent about that. The group travels together and we are on a group tour. So this kind of gives you a snapshot to see what travelers think about this experience, how amazing it is. It expands their knowledge of the world around them, gives them more confidence. So let me jump right to what's included and then I can get to the cost. Round trip airfare, we have hotel rooms that are quality hotel rooms. So there will be about 2 to 4 travelers in a hotel room together, girls with girls, boys with boys, a 24/7 bilingual tour director, on-tour transportation. So we have these really nice travel buses, travel coaches with amazing drivers. Again, it's an educational itinerary. The buses are really nice coaches too. They're not like school buses. Again, guided tours and activities. When you go to the page, my travel page, you will see how many different tours and activities are included in this trip. Breakfast and dinner daily. We get a authentic European breakfast every morning to get us fueled for the day. Dinner is also included in this as well, so authentic dinners. 24/7 on-tour assistance if anything comes up, a traveler support team, tour donation page. This is a great opportunity around Christmas time for you to say to grandparents, hey, would you like to donate to Susie's Day in Rome? And instead of buying gifts, they give $100, $200 in the donation page. The online education platform and the Uncommon app are those things that I talked about before. You get a travel backpack and a global travel protection plan, which I'm going to explain in text in the email because I'm kind of running out of time for this video. So I'll explain what the global travel protection plan is in text in the email. The things you include, you need to get a passport, airport baggage fees. So if you check a bag over what's the limited amount, spending money every day, lunches and snacks. So this is when you really get to explore your culinary experiences there. Any snacks? Tips, we do tip our tour director, tour guides, bus driver. It averages out to about $10 a day. That is something I will collect before we even go on our trip. And then I will hand that out. Actually, I usually give it to student travelers and they give it to our amazing local tour guides and bus driver and that sort of thing as we go along. I can explain any of these additional costs to you. Also, when you go to the website, you can see in more what these additional costs entail, but this is the list of additional costs that aren't included. Okay, so here we go. You can secure your spot with a $95 deposit. This shows you different options of how you can pay. This shows you the total price in full. If you are a parent wanting to go, it is a slight increase in cost, and that's because you are in a room with just one other person. So there's an increase in that cost for that 2-person adult room. If you want to travel with your student and you want your student to be in a room with you and not with the other student travelers, you can do that. It is an increase in cost. I don't know how much it is. You would need to talk about that when you sign up, but that is a possibility as well. So I know that this is a large investment, but I do hope that you understand that everything that I listed that's included, if you were to try and do all of those things line item by line item to go on this trip on your own, you would go way over this amount here. So this really is a great deal for this fantastic, amazing opportunity. So there are limited spots available. Please go to this website and you can see more about the trip. This is what you type in when you say you want to enroll. I do have enrollment saying it's ending this Friday. I know it's a holiday week and you're getting this kind of late, so this is extended for you. I will write about that in the email text as well. So this is all the time I have for this recording. Thank you so much for being interested in this trip. Please feel free to email me with any questions. Thank you.